This is a doozy. Listen to this. Dear Ask M.E., I found your article exploring the tragic school shooting inspirational. I only wish your readers knew how important it was that you were there to help me through it. Love, Davis.
Oh, that's cute.
P.S. Mom, please send more underwear. The school's laundry has turned all mine bright yellow. I'm framing this one.
You're not the only one who's gotten fan mail.
Oh, another card from Turk?
Mm-hmm, and as usual, it comes with flowers.
And what does it say?
I miss you.
That's it? That's all? Nothing more? Nothing about the next step being...
Emmy, you promised not to say it.
I did not. I said I wouldn't harp on it.
Well, do me a favor tonight. Don't harp, mention, or accidentally allude to the subject of marriage, or that we only live together for 2 days.
You know what my therapist would say about this?
Your therapist.
My therapist would say that this is like the elephant in the middle of the room that nobody wants to talk about because if you do, you're afraid you'll fall down and never get up.
Is that you or your therapist who just called me an elephant?
I went to 3 different toy stores.
Colliar, no, not now.
It's the only one I could find. A pink one.
Any day now, I will hear you say goodbye, my love, and you'll be on your way. Then my wild, beautiful bird, you will have flown. It's easy now. I'll be gone alone.
Okay, now what does it say?
Okay, that's 100 and...
Give me the baby.
Okay, now what does it say?
100... Oh, my big boy! You weigh 24 pounds. You're my big boy.
And I only have 3 more to lose.
Oh, well, you've certainly worked hard enough for it, Mom.
Congratulations, Mrs. Sim.
Thank you.
So, you and Dad actually going out with Rene and her judge tonight?
Yeah, why wouldn't we?
Seems whenever the 4 of you have plans, things always come up.
No, that's not true.
I've got poopies.
I'll get the bag. I'll get the diapers.
I'll get the wipes.
No. Over here.
I'll get the wipes. It's all in its
Oh, what's for the spinach?
It's always the spinach.
You always...
Lakeisha? Lakeisha?
She'll be right back.
Hey, Paul, I didn't know you were coming in today.
Well, the teacher told me that she needs my help filing.
Oh, yeah, great.
I better get started.
Oh, wait.
Good morning to you, too. You must have practiced a lot.
Uh-huh.
Try it, okay?
There's a Mr.
Greenberg?
Greenberg. Something about a child?
Custody?
Custody.
He said that he had an appointment.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. You're great.
Mr. Greenberg?
Most adults just call me Daniel.
Daniel? Do your parents know you're here?
No,
Why is that?
I didn't tell them because they've been divorced for 12 years and it's easier not to.
Please have a seat. My assistant Paul tells me that I have an appointment with you, but
I lied. I want to live with my father, but my mother invokes the fifth every time I try to talk to her about it.
How old are you?
Why? What difference does it make? Look, I have $800 here. I mean, that's all that matters, isn't it?
Put that money away and sit down, or this conversation is over.
I'm almost 15. I've lived with my mother since I was 2. I'm a straight A student. Plan on being a lawyer.
The lawyer part I can believe.
I know all I have to do is start failing in school or run away, make something up about my mom, and the courts will give me to my dad. Am I right?
Is that what you're threatening to do?
No. I love my mom. I don't want to hurt her. even though she thinks I do.
Why does she think that?
Because I've told her that I need my father more than I need her.
Well, I guess she has good reason to feel hurt, doesn't she?
So you're gonna help me?
George Bernard Shaw once wrote,
Mom, you're not listening to me.
some people see things as they are and say why. I dream things.
I'm sorry, Rene. What did you say?
Was Cookie Grandma raised on the farm too, or was that just her mom?
Ooh. Let me see. Your great-grandmother Rose would have been the last of the Jacksons to work as a sharecropper. So her name would go right there, next to her half-brother Moses.
Gosh, Rene, your family tree is so much more interesting than mine.
Yeah, that slavery thing was really great.
That's not what I mean. I mean, what kind of history does my family have? Everybody already knows about Uncle Jimmy. I'll just break his branch right off the tree.
Well, Mary Elizabeth, the Irish have quite a unique history of their own.
All I know is I have to march in a parade every St. Patty's Day and paint my face green.
In fact, after the Great Potato Famine, Irishmen worked shoulder to shoulder with Negroes on farms. What time that is.
Well, then there's got to be somebody in my family worth writing about, doesn't there?
Well, of course there is. Grandma Sullivan used to sit me and Johnny on her lap, call us her little Irish potato spuds, and tell us how we came from kings and queens.
I don't remember hearing anything like that, Teresa.
Well, that's because you weren't born yet, stupid.
Girls, time for bed.
Oh, Mama, Teresa says we come from kings and queens, but Miss Jackson said that the Irish worked on the farms next to the coloreds.
Oh, she did she?
Well, tell her, Mama. Tell her how my people came from royalty and not from working on some smelly old farm next to some smelly old coloreds. No, Mama. That can't be true. It just can't be.
Mama, are you sure Teresa and I fell from the same tree?
I occasionally have my doubts. Now, you get ready for bed, and I will tell you some things I'm sure Mrs. Jackson failed to mention.
Did your son tell you that he was coming to see me?
No.
Don't you find that surprising?
Well, before 2 years ago, I would have, but thanks.
What happened 2 years ago?
My wife got a court order stopping him from talking to me about how much he wanted to live with me.
Why would you do that?
Because she knows the same thing I do. That living without your child makes it almost impossible to close your eyes at night, or even harder to open them up in the morning.
But you do have joint custody.
Yeah, well, that's what the court calls it anyway. My wife gets Daniel 80% of the time. I get what's left over.
Why haven't you ever fought for sole custody?
Because I'm afraid of the repercussions.
What kind of repercussions?
When my ex-wife gets mad, she lets the answering machine pick up for a week at a time, so I can't talk to my own son. Worst part about it, he doesn't even know I've called. Or if I'm late picking him up, even for a minute, knowing that I live 50 miles away, she leaves with him because the court papers says she can.
Mr. Greenberg, did you put your son up to this?
No.
Then where does a 15-year-old get $800?
From his bar mitzvah. If we were talking about a 15-year-old girl who wanted to live with her mother because she knew there were certain things about being a woman that her father couldn't teach her, would you and the courts be more willing to listen?
You haven't worn this dress in a while.
That's because I haven't been able to get in this dress for a while.
Well, I was going to say, it's a nice color. So what am I not supposed to talk about tonight?
You can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Can I ask, how come Turk moved out after only 2 days?
No.
Well, how about when he's going to ask her to get married?
Unless you want a very short evening.
Well, I suppose it doesn't matter. That ship has sailed anyway.
No ship has sailed anywhere.
Sure, a guy doesn't move out after only 2 days because things are perfect. He does it because he's looking to jump ship and then hoist his sail in another port.
You know, it's just like Kelly said. You're making problems before we even get to the restaurant.
No, I'm not. I just don't understand why you and Rene can talk about anything except her getting married.
Why don't you try and talk to Turk and ask him about it?
When? It's not like guys follow each other to the bathroom to gossip.
Look, instead of letting the ship sink, why don't you help bail it out a little?
Hey. So, how are things going with you and Rene?
Oh, great. How about you and Mary Elizabeth?
Great, just great. My marriage couldn't be better.
Nice to know it can still work out, huh?
Yeah, marriage is great if you're the marrying kind of guy. And I always thought there's two kind of guys, marrying kind of guys and not marrying kind of guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, where are you?
Oh, I'm just glad to have met Rene, you know.
The only reason I'm asking is that Mary Elizabeth seems to be concerned.
Really? About what?
Well, about you moving out after only 2 days and how it might be indicative of a deeper problem.
Mary Elizabeth said that?
Yeah, she talks a lot like that now that she's in therapy.
Well, if I can, I'll talk to her about it tonight.
So, does she have a reason to be concerned?
Well, not as far as I'm concerned.
Well, great. That's what I've been telling her all along.
Couldn't find a place to park, and some jerk pulls up in a brand new fancy car, goes right in the handicap spot. He got out of the car and there's nothing wrong with him. Don't you hate that? Don't you? So I ran him over. Then his mother got out the other side, started swinging her crutches at me. I kind of like big women. You like big women? Yeah, I like the big one over there. Shouldn't point that out. Oh, good God. Hey, how you doing there, chunky chick? Stop it. Yeah, I call her Hamburger Haven. You ever give them a hit though with the hearts? Stop it. It's not nice at all. Yeah, I know. I still like it though. The cellulite delight. You ever gotten on the bathroom scale and it screamed one at a time? What are you laughing at? What, your wife is so big, yeah, that after sex, she doesn't smoke a cigarette, she smokes a turkey.
I understand that we need to talk.
Huge!
What?
Hey, what, isn't that the Ask N.E. lady from the newspaper? Yeah, I don't know. Is it?
Yes, it is.
Hey, well, then stand up and take a bow. All right. Not so fast there. Is that cowboy behind you your husband?
Yes, it is.
Oh, so, cowboy, you ever had sex with a fat woman? Oh, Walter.
No, I hadn't.
Oh, what about in this N.E. other than gravitationally challenged like our cellulite delight over there? Of course not.
Well, actually, I just lost 25 pounds.
25 pounds? Hey, how'd you do that?
Well,
You hung a donut in front of their treadmill. All right, come on, folks. Give yourself a big round of applause. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? How about the fat chick?
The free app now.
Hello?
Can you talk?
No, and good morning, Emmy.
Then just answer in simple yeses or nos.
No.
I didn't ask you a question yet.
No, I don't want to talk about this, Emmy.
Is that an I can't talk about it right now no, or he hasn't asked me anything important no?
It's a no-no, and I'm much more interested in asking how you're doing after last night.
I'm just fine. Could you hold on for 1 second? And why wouldn't I be fine?
No reason, I just thought you might want to talk.
I'm fine.
You sure?
Listen, somebody's at my door. Can I call you back? Bye.
Hi, I'm Carmen Turner. I'm the one at the club last night.
Uh-huh.
I talked to your editor and he wouldn't help me, so I decided to look you up. You would have thought a celebrity like you was listed. May I come in? He wasn't very funny last night, was he?
No, he wasn't.
So why were you laughing?
Me? I wasn't laughing.
Well, actually, until he turned his attention to you, you were.
And what can I do for you?
I want to file a class action suit against that comedian, and I wanted you to testify. Do I sit?
Testify about what?
About what happened last night. I think it's time that women help put a stop to the last socially acceptable area of discrimination.
Which is?
Being overweight.
Uh-huh. And what does that have to do with me?
I thought I saw in your reaction something that I used to see in myself.
Which is what?
Fear. Fear that maybe 1 more pound or inch would turn into 5 or 10 or 25.
Listen, Carmen, I'm very sympathetic to your cause. But I'm very busy today.
Of course you are. Miss Sims, You would be very helpful in the lawsuit. Because being a local celebrity, you could help represent the women that are still afraid. Women who know that once they've been heavy, they never think of themselves as thin again. And even if they tried, there's still people like that comedian last night who won't let them.
Kids go through hundreds of phases, and you know what? You have to be there
Can we
for all of them.
please get back
And
to
I will be.
Daniel?
Even you must know that.
You weren't there for me when we were married. Why should I think that you would be there for Daniel?
Because he's my son, not my wife.
You're doing it again. You're making decisions without me, aren't you?
I'm sorry, Rene.
Daniel. I thought if I paid you, you'd listen to me.
I am listening. Daniel, and as your lawyer, I'm recommending that you wait outside until I'm finished interviewing all the parties, okay? All right, look. Are you willing to put Daniel through hours of psychological evaluations, social service interviews, and months of trial lawyers?
No.
Of course not.
Then why are you here? Because that is the reality of a full-fledged custody case.
Because I love my son.
And I want what's best for him.
Then you should have thought of that before the divorce. I'm sorry, my opinions about marriage and divorce are just a few of the reasons I didn't go into family law. But for Daniel's sake, I think I can help you both.
Miss Jackson, I don't need your help. I already have custody. I don't know why I came at all.
Because you want what's best for your son. Don't you see him reaching out to you, to both of you, to help him? He's scared. And Miss O'Keefe, he's realized that all he has to do to get away from you is to run away or to lie about what kind of mother you are. He doesn't want to do that because he loves you.
All right.
If you both agree, I can be what's called Daniel's guardian ad litem. I will represent both your sides, pro and con, and the judge will decide what's best for Daniel.
Rene, he gone.
What?
Daniel told me he was going to the restroom, but then I noticed he took his backpack.
For goodness sake.
We'll look for him.
Yes, but the truth is, Mary Elizabeth, it was only for a very short time. Yes, the Irish did work in the fields along with the Collards, but because of that, our ancestors were called the of Europe. It was awful, dear. In fact, people used to say that the Irish were just the Collards turned inside out, and that the Collards were just smoked Irish.
I bet neither could be happy about that.
Mama, come here, hurry!
Anything further to report on this condition. The confusion regarding what has happened has left the country in a state of shock. Varying and somewhat contradictory reports continue to stream.
Hello?
You watching TV?
No, I was just...
Turn it on.
Why?
Just turn it on now, Rene.
What is known is that last night, moments after his press conference at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California, presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy was shot and is still listed in critical condition. The shooting occurred at 12:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time as Mr. Kennedy was leaving the podium after speaking to a gathering of his supporters. I'm sure that the thoughts and prayers of all Americans are with him.
know I said no. But what kind of case would they have against this comedian?
A challenging one. Freedom of speech cases are always difficult.
Why?
Because whatever he said about heavyset women was done in the form of a joke, which is protected as satire.
Now, you weren't laughing last night. Why not?
I was.
Not when they were making jokes about me.
I mean, where is this going?
Did you not laugh because you really didn't think it was funny, or were you not laughing because you didn't think that I would think that it was funny?
I wasn't laughing because as your friend who loves every inch of you, I could see how uncomfortable you were becoming. Why would I laugh at that? Yeah?
Rene, Daniel's here.
Daniel? Are you okay?
His mother's on her way to pick him up.
We have been very worried about you.
Are you gonna help me?
If it were up to me, I'm not sure who you should live with, but I am sure that you're very lucky to have two parents who love you as much as they do.
I don't feel lucky.
Hot cocoa.
Thanks.
Well, I don't think any 15-year-old feels lucky. It's just part of being a teenager.
Having divorced parents isn't supposed to be. Are you married?
No.
Not yet.
Are your mom and dad still together?
They would be, if my father hadn't passed.
Sorry. What about yours? Your parents still married?
No.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, who is it?
It's Turk.
You're kidding.
I'm afraid not.
All right. Hold on. I'm coming. I'll be right. Hey,
Did Colliar mention that I needed to talk to you?
did Colliar mention how dirty my house is? Come on in. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
Yes, please. Oh, not interrupting any writing, am I?
Oh, no. I'm just trying to decide what to write right now. You know. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I understand that you may have some concerns regarding what may or may not be in my future with Rene.
Uh-huh. And you would understand that from...
Colliar. Yeah, we had quite a male bonding moment last night in the restroom.
Oh. I thought only women went there to gossip.
You know, Mary Elizabeth, as a judge, you've become accustomed to showing as little emotion as possible. In fact, one of the hazards of the job is that this veneer of coldness tends to seep into your personal life and...
You really don't have to go any further.
Actually, I do. You see, I realize that your relationship with Rene is one of the most important things in her life. So I'm compelled to tell you that Rene is the most important thing in mine.
Well, I know I told you not to go on, but I'm glad you did.
You realize that this is the first conversation that you and I have had without Rene or Colliar being here?
Really? Well, I guess some of the nicer things in life are just worth waiting for.
Yeah.
So, tell me something. I have a friend, and she's kind of been maybe thinking about possibly joining this class action suit.
I've heard.
Yes, I guess you would have. Well, since you're a friend of the friend and you're a judge, could you advise them to do that?
Well, I think that sometimes, in order to combat that kind of insensitivity, one simply has to do what one can. So, yes, I do.
That phrase, I do, that has a certain ring to it, doesn't it?
You know, I suppose I should be leaving now. Thanks for the coffee.
Thanks for coming.
Good night, Mary Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Mrs. Sims, can you tell me why you felt my client's jokes were so offensive?
Well, I understand the difficulty that people who are have weight issues go through, and I think that that kind of discrimination should stop.
How much weight have you lost recently?
25 pounds.
And you'd like to lose how many more?
I don't know, 2 or 3 more. What does that have to do with the other night?
I'll ask the questions, Mrs. Sims. Do you consider yourself fat?
No, not now.
But you'd like to lose a few more pounds. Why?
Because I've always been thin.
But when you were at your heaviest, were you concerned that others might think of you as lazy or weak or unable to focus on your work because you couldn't control your urge to eat?
Why are you making this about me?
What's your current weight, Mrs. Sims?
I don't know.
Approximate it for me.
Approximately 2 to 3 more pounds than I'd prefer to weigh.
Do you have any other preconceived notions about your body image that might have influenced your reaction to the jokes that night?
And in the 12 years since your divorce, you have been Daniel's primary guardian?
Yes, that's right.
I understand that he does quite well in school, has a few good friends, and is active in sports.
Yes.
Miss O'Keefe, have you ever told Daniel that he couldn't go to his father's after he repeatedly asked if he could?
Only if it was my weekend.
Your weekend?
Yes. The first, third, and fifth weekends are mine, and the second and fourth weekends are his father's.
I would have thought that all the weekends would be Daniel's. In any case, why would you say no to a son who wanted to spend time with his father?
Because during the week, I do all of the work, all of the running around, and then he's going to spend the fun time, the quality time with his father. That isn't fair either, is it?
To whom?
I'm sorry?
You said it wasn't fair. Not fair to you or not fair to Daniel?
I put my career second so that I could raise Daniel. I haven't remarried or even gone on a date in years because I chose to focus my energies on raising my son. I willingly gave up everything so that I could be a good mother. And now he wants to just leave me and go live with his father?
One final question. Ms. O'Keefe, in your honest opinion, is Mr. Greenberg a good father?
Answer the question, please.
Yes. He's a good father.
Where's your dad?
Church.
Again?
Yeah, my mom dragged him there to say an extra prayer for the Kennedy family.
You okay?
All I can think about is that one day there's going to be some kids like us who are going to have an assignment to do a family tree. And at the top of that tree, they're going to put their ancestors from Ireland. But way down below on a branch, they're going to have to write the name John F. Kennedy and then Robert F. Kennedy. And when they get up in class and they have to say what happened to their Uncle John and their Uncle Robert, what are they gonna say? What am I gonna say about Johnny? I don't know what I'm gonna say.
death of Robert F. Kennedy is one which leaves a void in the hearts of Americans, regardless of political party, gender, religion, or race. Irish Americans.
Mama! What more do you need to know besides Bobby is dead? Robert Francis Kennedy was a great man and a true friend of the movement, and they killed him. Nothing's changed.
She's right. Nothing has changed. Good people keep dying without anything good coming of it.
Mr. Greenberg, the court often frowns on moving a child to a new school. If granted custody, would you be willing to move so that Daniel could stay where he is?
Yes, absolutely.
Why haven't you done that already?
Because there wasn't the need.
With you living 50 miles away and Daniel spending hours in the car driving back and forth, that's not need enough?
I didn't move because I bought a house. And if I sold it in today's market, I probably would lose most of it.
If your son were to ask you the same question, would a bad housing market be the reason you'd give him? Mr. Greenberg, have you always wanted your son to live with you?
Yes.
Then why didn't you fight for his custody initially during your divorce?
If you're trying to get me to admit that my wife was more comfortable raising a baby, then fine. But Daniel's a young man now. He needs his father.
I understand, but would it be fair to say, Mr. Greenberg, that like most young fathers, you didn't fight for custody because it was simply easier on your lifestyle not to?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Then what would you say?
That it was a mistake not to.
One final question. Can you honestly say that Betty O'Keefe is such a bad mother that she should have her son taken away from her?
It's not about whether she's a good mother. It's about what's the best thing for my son.
However, all I'm asking is if you would say that she's a good mother.
Yes. She's a good mother.
Thank you.
You may step down, Mr. Greenberg. Miss Jackson, I believe I've heard all I need to.
Begging the court's pardon, Your Honor, I don't believe you have.
And why is that, Miss Jackson?
Because after getting to know this young man, I believe the court should allow his voice to be heard.
I see. And you are?
That's my assistant, Your Honor.
And I'm Jack, Your Honor. Do I know what it's like for people not taking the time to listen to you?
And young man, you believe you have something to add to this?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Jackson, you and Mr. Daniel Greenberg in my chambers tomorrow. Young man, your voice will be heard.
So after the deposition, they excused me. Carmen's attorney said that considering my true feelings about Carmen's weight and my own, that I wasn't a help to the case. That's an awful lot of butter.
They must have considered you a prejudiced witness.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. I have no prejudices. That's a lot of cream.
Not in a personal sense, in a legal sense.
In a legal what?
In a strictly legal sense, a prejudiced witness is someone whose feelings about an issue were determined before the inciting incident occurred.
You want to give that to me again, this time without the tap dance?
The way you feel about being overweight made you a liability to the lawsuit.
And how exactly do you think I feel about being overweight?
You really want to do this?
Yes, ma'am. You got something on your mind, you just throw it out there on the table and I will too.
Fine. For months you've been complaining about how much weight you've been gaining. I've got some news for you, Emmy. Nobody cares. You were never fat, and you never will be. You started out as a size 3 and ballooned out to what, a size 6? You gained 25 pounds. That is not the end of the world.
It was 28 pounds, and I was a size 10.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't care how much you weigh, and neither does anybody else who loves you. So please do yourself a favor. Let it go.
Is it my turn now? Why won't you talk to me about how you felt when Turk moved out?
I did.
You didn't.
I did.
You didn't, and I know it was because you were hurt. Turk talked to me. Came to see me. To tell me how much he loves you. And I'm sorry if I never said it before, Rene, but he's a wonderful man. But if you can't be as honest with him as you've just been with me, what's the point? Because if you really want this to last, your husband has to be your best friend.
You nervous?
Not really. Just gonna tell her the truth.
Well, that's always a good place to start.
Am I gonna be able to ask questions?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What if once I get in there, I do get nervous and start crying?
I'll make a deal with you. You start to cry, I'll hand you a tissue. If I start to cry, you do the same for me, okay? Whatever she decides, you're gonna be fine, you know, because...
I have two parents who love me very much, right?
Rene?
Excuse me.
Is this him?
Is this who?
The not yet married to guy?
We need to talk.
I know. Look, I've been thinking, Rene.
No, I don't mean now.
Well, what about tonight? Good. All right, I'll see you.
It's time.
Rene, do you think I'd make a good lawyer?
I think you'd make a great whatever it is you want to be.
Because I think you'd make a really great mom.
What has gotten into you, young lady?
Nothing. Oh, look, there's a table right there.
Alice, but it is so sweet that you want the two of us to spend some time together. Where you going, dear? That was our table.
No, it's not. This is.
Mary Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
Hello, Mrs. O'Brien.
Catherine?
Sarah. Well, come on, Mama. Let's sit down.
Yeah, there's plenty of room for everyone.
Oh,
right, Mama?
We couldn't impose.
They're not imposing, are they, Mama?
Well, no, not at all.
Well, we can only stay a minute.
Oh, excuse me. We'll have 2 pieces of blueberry pie and 2 cups of coffee.
The pie's for us and the coffee's for them.
Coming right up.
It's horrible, isn't it? What's happened to Bobby, I mean.
Yes. It's a great loss to us all.
So, is there anything that my readers ought to know that most of us don't?
That some of us do eat too much, and that some of us were born weighing 12 pounds. And to judge us would be to judge your brothers and sisters and your mothers and fathers. And we're better than that.
I ask. Excuse me.
Hello?
You still mad at me?
About what?
Thought I'd ask before I knocked.
Hi.
Sorry.
Me too.
I should go.
Rene Jackson, this is Carmen Turner. Carmen, Rene.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. Mary Elizabeth, why did you decide to use your column to write about this?
Well, I thought I'd do what I could to make it right on my own turf, regardless of what the court does on theirs.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Bye. So, is everything okay?
Depends on who you ask.
Well, let's start with your 15-year-old client.
Well, it's better than he started, but not as good as he'd like.
Does that mean he still has to stay with his mother?
The judge decided that there was insufficient reason to disturb his present state of stability, but his father's going to sell his house and move to the neighborhood.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
That's a very good thing. And there's this.
Oh, another one. Miss Jackson, I used to think I wanted to be a lawyer. Now I know I do because some of them are like angels that are willing to listen and even help a kid fight for what's right. Your friend, Daniel Greenberg. Nice.
Yeah, I think I'll frame this one. Oh, and I decided to take the advice of an old friend. I'm going to tell Turk exactly how I feel.
Really? Well, I think a toast is in order. Get the glasses.
A toast to what?
Well, to getting rid of elephants in the room. And for me, realizing that even if someday it takes a train, bus, and a plane to get around to my better side, it doesn't matter. Just as long as you enjoy the ride.
When you left, it hurt. And I know that by not saying that, it probably hurt us. I just felt like something was ending instead of feeling like something was beginning.
Rene.
Wait. I know we both agreed that your moving out was for the best. But God, I miss waking up in the morning next to you.
Baby, you know how much you mean to me.
Yes, I do. But there's something I have to know. Will you marry me? Will you be my husband, to love and to hold from this day forward?
In sickness and in health.
Till death do us part.
I thought you'd never ask.